Good evening. I'd like to call the March 16th Hartland Selectboard meeting to order. As sitting chair, our first order of business is board organization. So I will step away and let John, our town manager, conduct the election of officers and the other items associated. Thank you, John.
Great. Thanks, Bill. So at this time, I would open the floor to nominations for chair of the select board.
I nominate Phil Hobby.
We have a nomination for Phil. Any other nominations?
Do you need a second?
You do need a second.
Yeah.
If you want to see other nominations.
Okay. No other nominations. Is there a second for Phil as chair?
Second.
The nomination is second. All those in favor of Phil as chair for the select board say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Great. Phil, back to you.
You did very well.
What are we exactly paying for again?
That right there, just that.
Well, I guess before we do dive into the rest, I want to say thank you for your support. I'll continue to do my best to serve the town in conjunction with working with John. So thank you very much. The next item is meeting day and time.
Vice chair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, the rest of the officers.
Starting off with the wrong foot.
Oh, so you don't like me anymore. I'll nominate Tom Kennedy to be vice chair.
I'll second.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor of Tom as vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay.
Point of order, do we have to have a elected clerk even though we have a person to take minutes?
We should have an appointed clerk for the purposes of executive session.
I did check the Vermont League of Cities and Town, and it didn't mention that, but I see no harm, especially coming out of executive session and so on.
All right, I nominate Therese.
No, you don't.
Take that back, you idiot.
I don't think there's any second, so we'll move on.
No,
to
we're not doing the second. So we'll stop right now, gentlemen.
I nominate Jim.
I
I
second
nominate
Jim.
Yeah. Thank you. You guys.
Are there any other nominations?
You're welcome.
All in favor of having Jim Rowley as our secretary / clerk, say aye.
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 Switch my
Thank you,
phone.
Cliver. I think we knocked off the appointments. Meeting day and time, we meet on the first Mondays at 5:30. Should the first Monday of the month be a holiday, we therefore will move to Tuesday. Is that correct, John?
First and third, unless we're all moving to one meeting a month.
Oh.
It's the first and third Mondays of the month.
I'd like one meeting a month.
I like Phil's better.
Okay, first and third
So I'll make a
Mondays of the
motion that
month.
we continue our current meeting schedule and time.
Thank you, Jim. A second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous vote for meeting day and time. Going on to newspaper record. John, help me with this. Currently, it's the Valley News.
Valley News.
Correct.
Should we do anything with the Vermont Standard?
So when we post legal notices, we put them in the Valley News. If we do other things, we can also include them in other newspapers, but the paper of record is the Valley News.
Okay. I need a motion
Make a
to,
motion that we maintain the Valley News as our paper of record.
sir, second.
Second.
Thank you, Clyde. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes. John, I'm going to ask you to help with the physical location for meeting notices.
Correct. So as of last year, we changed the 3 physical locations to Damon Hall, the North Heartland Post Office, and the Hartland Public Library. We also post it on the town website as well, as required.
Right.
So I'll make a motion that we continue using our current posting locations.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just a footnote. I think we continue to struggle with posting on the listserv. I've had people tell me I don't read the listserv, so doesn't matter to me, and other folks asking. So I think we just need to keep filling that one out as we go along. The rules of procedure. A few years ago, we adopted basically rules from Vermont League of Cities and Towns. We modified them, and we have them in our packet today. John, I believe you introduced a change.
There was one small correction, just that didn't get caught until last year, changing, because we previously had posted agendas at Mike's, and then we moved it to the library. There was an old reference to Mike's, so now everything says that the physical posting locations are Damon Hall, the library, and the North Hartland Post Office. That was the only change from last year to this year.
And I make a motion that we readopt our rules of procedure as included in the packet with that change.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. John, under E, meetings, I just wanted to clarify a special meeting versus an emergency meeting.
Yep.
I think it's fairly well spelled out, but could you just go through that on page 2?
So emergency meetings are, if something comes up that needs to be addressed today, there is no need to, the 24-hour public notice period gets waived for emergency meetings.
Okay. And if we wanted to have a special meeting to discuss the side steps and a repair or something.
At least 24-hour notice.
24 hours. Any other questions or discussion?
I think it would help if we dated it, just so we
There
have.
will be a
On page
signature
3.
going along.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we post this to the website as well.
Yeah, good
you all
catch, Tom. Yeah. Okay, all in favor, say aye. I think that was aye across the board.
Yep, there's a signature page coming around.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the normal meeting at this point. The first order of business would be the minutes from March the 2nd. I would again entertain a motion to accept those.
So moved.
Thank you, Tom. A second.
Second.
Thank you. Okay. Any discussion?
Good.
Yeah, I thought they were spot on. Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thanks, Diane. Next order of business are the orders or the accounts payables through today, March the 16th.
I move we pay the accounts payable through today.
Is there a second?
I was second.
Thank you, Trace. Any discussion?
What's Sable & Sons, is that mechanics?
Yeah. Yep.
John, where are we with the overall salt budget? There's 2 additional salt deliveries here.
Correct. We're still on budget with salt.
Okay. Great.
We switched because we were not able to get salt from one vendor, so we switched to a local vendor, so we were able to get salt. And then we ended up getting more salt than we needed. So.
Oh, gosh.
Well pumps replacement, was that the rec center well pump?
No, that was the Four Corners building well pump.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Just kind of ongoing maintenance.
So we're getting all our machines up and running for the spring? Is that what all this stuff with United Ag?
No, United Ag just doesn't bill very frequently.
Oh.
So the sidewalk,
They know how to build meat.
the roadside mower, that was actually done last summer. We're just a little catching up on their end.
I think, wow, we're really on top of things. We're getting stuff out in March.
No, I would like to say yes, but
Yeah, that was my same question because there's a potpourri of equipment here.
yeah, some of it was recent, but a few of those were older.
Okay. Just a general point of information. We made our payment to Windsor County Sheriff. In the past, we've had reports either to you, through you, or to us, from you, or directly. With the new hierarchy, can we expect that?
Yes, we can. And in fact, I've invited them to an upcoming board meeting. I just wanted to get past town meeting and organizational things. So you will see the Chief Deputy Claude coming to a future meeting soon.
Okay, where's the chief?
He's acting in that role, correct?
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 We're on a roll here. So it's dangerous to say that. Are there any adjustments to the agenda? I do have one piece of correspondence that we'll get to under correspondence. Okay. Moving on to public comments. Are there any online? But let's do any. Yes, Jody.
Hi.
Please identify yourself for the record.
I will.
Okay.
Joey Finley. I live on Clay Hill Road, and I'm here to talk about the apartheid-free pledge that I talked about at town meeting. And my question to the select board is this: if we were to gather enough signatures, would the select board consider adopting the pledge? The pledge, basically, I can read it to you if you'd like, but it would say that the town would take responsibility for its purchases to make sure that we're not purchasing any items for the town that would line the pockets of people committing apartheid. To me, it's something that's important, not just with what's happening to Palestine, but other parts of the world. There are apartheids happening, and this is how we saw change in South Africa, was through boycotts, by making sure that we were spending money. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this.
No, Jody,
I'm much better one-on-one.
No,
also, I have to apologize. I have to leave right away because I'm paying a sitter to watch my mom.
Okay, so to my colleagues, Jody reached out to me after the town meeting to ask the same question, essentially, on that part. And I did get back to her that we, as a board, have had a standing tradition for a number of years now of leaving politics out the door. The exception was the Declaration of Inclusion, which we passed as a town. And the reason why that was appropriate is that actually that goes right to our hiring practices as well as globally how we sort of include people within town and town activities.
And this would go towards purchasing practices.
I understand that, and I certainly was in college with many petitions going against various wars, asking trustees to do that. But again, we're not a national group. We are the town of Hartland. And I did some small surveys. I was at the senior cafe and I asked folks there, and they agreed, let's leave politics for this Saturday and no King's Rally, and not here at the table. So are we comfortable with that? Because she's asking if it's going to matter.
I'm comfortable. It's also be fairly difficult to figure out what companies, organizations may or may not have some relationship with whatever country.
Actually, Thetford's done it.
Well,
I'm not sure that we want
have
to
they
put
executed the
manager.
procurement of the next 10-wheeler to know whether some parts were made somewhere on the list?
We never know where the parts.
Well, that's what we're facing, Jody.
What they're deciding is that they're not going to purchase a piece of equipment, a large piece of equipment that is made by a company that is based in Tel Aviv.
Oh, okay. Any thoughts, Tom? part.
And
Well,
my other argument is that I don't see this as political, but I see it as humanitarian efforts.
I would think we all agree with you, but I don't think we want to set a precedent that opens up, the door for lots of other issues that may come along. We want to stay neutral and just run the business of the town.
Yeah.
You know that there are many towns in Vermont that have already adopted.
I'm very keenly aware, and Senator Major, I was having an event with him recently, and he took me aside to sort of say, please don't become the Hartford Select Board, because those select people spend more time thinking about global, very important issues, but not about, the crack in the sidewalk that dislocated my shoulder in December. So I may be a little bitter there. So any other comments?
Well, you could have approved repair for that.
Right.
Yeah, well, I certainly talked to their town manager, and it took many months to repair it. Okay. So we can't say no to gathering petitions.
Yeah, I think, I was just going to say that.
Yeah. We can't say no to gathering
You want to
petitions.
gather. Also, it would be more helpful to me. So I was actually working in Southern Africa during the time of apartheid.
Wow.
So obviously I personally experienced it. But no, I'm not trying to be offensive, but if you could articulate what you mean by purchasing, and is there a list of companies you're talking about? I mean, I don't know.
Yes, there are.
What you're,
there are
so
lists.
maybe if you could write something up and just send it to John or something, but right now I would say no, just by what you said to me, even though I feel strongly about what's going on in Gaza and other places in the world, but it's unclear to me exactly what you're asking us to do, to be honest with you.
Okay, I can send you a list of companies that are, known, companies that are supporting the genocide, but not just that, but the lining the pockets of the larger companies in Israel. And the other thing is too, that we need to be aware that the taxpayer dollars in Vermont also are being spent on weapons for Israel. And I mean, it's heartbreaking when you think about how much that money could help the community.
Right. So as Tom's point is if you can actually give us that information, and then.
Can I ask you why you didn't return my email?
Well, we corresponded 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I got hit with some other serious town things that we were right in the middle of, and I apologize. But I also just had.
I wasn't sure if I was.
I just had a knee replacement, and.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were just ghosting me or what.
No. I was actually going to find out where you live on Clay Hill Road, knock on your door, and say I apologize. So I apologize. But we did go back and forth. You live where?
Next to the Withingtons.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Well, let's let you get back to care for your mom. And
One more question. How many signatures would you like to see?
that's a procedural question I don't know the answer to.
It's 10% of the voting population?
If you want to call tomorrow morning or
Yeah.
so, I can get you that number. I think it's a certain percentage of registered voters.
I think
It's not 10% of the
It's
vote.
5%.
5%.
5%?
It's pretty low.
Yeah.
So is this something that the select board would consider before the next town meeting?
I'm sorry?
Is this a decision that the select board would make?
Yeah, I think we're considering.
Yeah, you're what's too far ahead. It's the first meeting after the town meeting, and
Before you do your petitions and everything, if you could give us information from maybe what other communities have done or something,
Okay.
maybe we can read
Yep.
or whatever, and then why don't we can go from there. I would hate to have you waste your time
Well, that's why I'm
and
here.
going and
I don't
doing
wanna waste my
petitions.
time. I don't wanna waste your
Exactly.
time.
But understand, we fully support, what in essence, what you're trying to do. Just, I think there's a
I'm sorry,
difference.
did you have something to say?
I'm just trying to move this along because we have a lot on this agenda
Right.
tonight. And I think
Yeah.
that Phil was pretty clear about what he stated earlier on, and that we're not a political
Yeah, the general tone
agenda
of what we're
here. This
trying.
is for the town of Hartland specifically. That's what we're here for. And that's what I'd like the meeting to be about. So if we could just move forward.
Okay, thank you, Trace.
If you wanted to email me whatever you have, and I can share it with the board for the
Okay,
next.
thank you.
Are there
I'm
other,
sorry, I apologize, I have to go.
are there other public comments? Anything online?
No, online.
Okay, good. Moving on to old business. We've been going through the town plan. This particular evening, we are talking about chapters 8, 9, and 10. And John, I'll let you lead the conversation. And Kate, you're here to help answer questions.
Yep, and Dan
Kate
is online
Donahue
as
is
well.
here.
To the best of my ability.
And yeah, Dan's online as well.
Okay.
So again, these are just the next 3 chapters in line with the select board's review of the town plan.
What chapters, what page is chapter 8?
Starts on 102. Okay, I don't know, or Dan, if you wanted to walk us through if there were any major changes to any of these chapters.
Well, I do remember Tom pointing out about the landfill.
Yes.
So that very first, sorry, the second paragraph under Hartford.
Yep.
That landfill, I understand, is now no longer.
Okay.
So we can't change the wording ourselves, but I'm just flagging that language.
So Tom, are you comfortable if we just delete that entire sentence regarding the landfill? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What exactly, and this is a silly question knowing how you've been trying to be vague in some of the wording, what does a hamlet area mean?
Yeah, and actually, I understand that Two Rivers does have a designation of.
Yep.
Okay.
There are hamlets.
Yep, it's a defined.
Okay, that's on what page 103, I'm
It's a
asking
defined.
that.
Okay, where are we? What page do we start here?
103, there are,
We're at 103.
these areas are town centers, village settlement area, hamlet areas,
Right.
rural areas, and conservation and resource areas. Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, nothing's designated as a hamlet.
No, we Hartland has 3 village centers. The
Any other
3 corners, 4
questions?
corners in North Hartland.
Weathersfield has hamlets.
Okay, chapter 8, we're ready to move on to,
Chapter 8 is
we're on a roll here. Chapter 9, economic development.
And then Dan, if you have anything, feel free to chime in anytime.
Oh, page 105,
Yes.
the bottom, it says figure 8. I rolled it over. It's figure 17.
Well, we will make sure that one of those is correct.
Yeah,
Just point of procedure. Are you cataloging all the corrections?
I am. I'm cataloging them. I met with Two Rivers last week to go through all the changes that have been made to date.
Okay, and then they incorporate them.
And then they incorporate them because they have the single document.
Okay. Thank you.
that's a good catch.
Yeah.
It's on page 106. It's always interesting for me to look at this over time, which is the occupation of Hartland residents. Do we know what the date of that is? I don't know how it fluctuates given the change in people coming and going in town.
I do not know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Two Rivers question.
Yeah.
It's probably the census.
Okay.
Yeah. Under, don't want to step in.
Nope. Go ahead.
On that same page, economic development policy, down to the middle of the page.
Yes.
Line number 1, I think there's a missing word in there. Economic development in Hartland should be limited and restricted to the locations, types, and that have been specifically defined in the town. That's a word that needs to be there.
There is.
Location,
Size,
types, and.
type, size.
I can see if it's a word that was in the 2017 town plan that inadvertently got deleted in the update process.
I think my suspicion is that if you cycle back to land use, that if there is a missing link, it's probably there.
Yeah. So I can see if we can find it. If not, incorporate it. I think size or type is the most likely culprit there.
So most of these land uses under economic development, it says in the designated areas, but then when it comes to under 3, under policy, it just says industrial sites should be screened, but doesn't say anything like, it says, like above, it says location types, you know what I'm saying here? So we should say to the areas as defined in the town plan or something like that. And is that all we care about is policy for industrial development, is that it should be screened?
So you're saying economic development.
It's just a weak policy
number
for
3.
economic development.
Economic development policy number 3. Industrial sites as identified in the town plan.
Yeah, right.
You're looking for that additional language there.
I think that would be.
Or on the future land use map.
Sure.
I think it's fine.
Right, number 4 spells that out to tie it back to, okay. There was a piece in the news in the last couple of days that Vermont has the lowest number of fast food restaurants, I think, across the United States. Okay, moving on to chapter 10.
That's truly valuable information. Thank you.
That is on page 121.
Go to 11 on every Saturday.
This is when you can't sleep at night.
Get off the phone. That's why you can't sleep.
It's the blue light.
Clyde, would you like to throw in a disparaging comment? No. Thank you, Clyde. Forest blocks and habitat connectors. 11% here. Why is that?
So, action to implement policy 3.2A. Limit development to no more than 10% of the total acreage of the original parcel. That just seems like a very vague statement.
As related to policy 3, which is new subdivision construction shall take reasonable steps to avoid disruption. Correct?
I've lost both of you guys. Are we on the connector goals?
It's policy, so they broke it down in this chapter to actions to implement specific policies.
Yeah.
So it's policy number 3, which is in question right now.
Okay, thank you.
At the bottom, of 109.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tom, actually,
Because in 3, I think we should be concerned with habitat as well as just corridors. Subdivisions that fragment habitat as well, right? And this is fairly defined as far as wildlife corridor.
So how do we do that?
You want that to be a loss of, and I think the term of art is significant, not major. Significant wildlife habitat, not major. C3. Under, I'm on page 109.
Yep.
Under policy, under forest blocks policies.
Right.
New subdivision and construction shall take reasonable steps to avoid the disruption or loss of major identified.
wildlife.
And the term is not major. I think it's significant is what A&R uses. And I think it should, I mean, if you're going to, it should be significant wildlife habitat. I mean, that's like bear habitat and things like this. I mean, we want the bears to be able to move across the corridors, but you also need the habitat for the bears.
Don't they say that in policy 1, number 3?
That's where we are.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think, so you're saying it should be habitat, significant wildlife habitat and corridor crossings.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Okay.
Does, Tom, perhaps you might be the best person to answer this, does Act 181 have any impact on these policies prior to adoption? So Act 181 in the legislature is Act 250 reform.
So we haven't defined it tier 3 yet and what that's going to be, but that statement would certainly be in the spirit of what the law is trying to do.
Okay.
But then, so given 3, going down to action to implement policy 3, again, I go back to A, to no more than 10% of the total acreage of the original parcel. You could have, 100-acre parcel and maybe 40 of it is habitat, and the rest of it could be whatever.
Right.
To me, I'm just kind of uncomfortable with just a percentage,
How else would you do it?
You could say something like limit development to maximize the amount, something like that, and just not use a number.
But then maximize is subject to interpretation.
Sure.
So it could be, maximize could be less than 10%. 10% is just your minimum threshold.
But you could have a 50-acre parcel and you wanted to subdivide, a couple parcels off of your 2 kids. You're going to be limited 5 acres. And I could understand the 10% if it was within the corridor or significant habitat.
Yeah.
It's not saying
But
that.
So 3, I gotta go back and look at what 3 is. I thought it was.
So we can see.
So I'm trying, so the reason I'm being fussy here is when the zoning comes in and the implementation of the zoning, you now go back to the town plan and you're going to say in certain districts and people are going to go nuts.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to be cautious, or we should be cautious.
Yeah. So I don't know, a word like that has a loose definition is harder to measure than a number, right? Maybe we just get some input from Two Rivers to say what we typically see in other areas.
Right, can we define the limitation of development without using the percentage? Because
that's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
that's
so
what
I can talk to Brian to see if there's another way to achieve that action without being tied to a percentage.
Right.
Dan and Kate, are you thinking this is a good way to go here?
Right. And I'm just wondering if some of this hadn't already come out of some decision made.
Oh,
not that I know of. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's worth talking
Sure.
about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll talk to Brian at Two Rivers.
Okay. Good.
So then on B, again, and I talked about this last meeting, it says 5 lots or a maximum of 5 units. Remember, a duplex is now considered a permitted use.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have 10 units.
Which number do you want to talk about?
Under B, it says the development project can only have a maximum of 5 lots or a maximum of 5 units. And duplexes are permitted use.
So it should be 5 and 10. 5 lots or a maximum of 10 units.
Or you could say a minimum, maximum of 5 lots, period. Or 10 units, sure,
Okay.
if it's a duplex.
Yeah, so maybe it's 5 duplex units.
Something like that.
Yeah, sure.
If it's 10 units and they're all duplexes, you just have 10. So,
Or could you have 2 individuals on a 5-acre lot?
We can,
Right, that's right.
Yeah, not, to me, a duplex is connected.
right.
It is,
Yeah,
that's right.
but standing alone.
But with housing being what it is, more and more people need to build duplexes.
Yeah.
You know, if we're trying to get folks for some.
we can clear that up.
Excuse me, is a duplex considered 1 unit or 2 units?
2 units.
Okay, thank you.
One structure, 2 units.
Just going back to the last paragraph before the goals and policies on page 108, I was interested to see where the searchable online map was, but I didn't know where to look. So if we could identify.
What page are you on?
It's
108.
108.
108, two paragraphs above forest blocks and habitat connector goals. Talks about the large scale, blah, blah, blah. No one paper map can show that. There's a searchable online, publicly available for determining.
Where's the atlas?
It's an FPR version,
Right.
Forest Parks and Rec version of the A&R Atlas.
And
I found it relatively easily today.
your prior profession led you to that. Thank you.
So, yeah, we can add a sentence in there. That's easy enough to do.
And the last, on page 110, the last set of paragraphs, potential required forestry permits. This really highlights that there are state forestry groups and possibly federal that are coming into play here. It's really not the town talking about what can be clear cut or not clear cut.
Correct.
Okay.
Straightforward changes.
Yeah, Martin, did you have a question before?
Under the 3A, had to do, zoning was gonna make it different. I lost track of that question. You said 10% of the property would only be 5 acres.
Well, okay, so this is where publicly we have to be really careful what we're saying because the Z word triggers a lot of emotion right now.
Right. So
We're only talking about parcels within a natural resource area, wildlife corridor, or significant habitat area as defined by the state of Vermont.
Right, but you were saying if they had 2 kids, that only 5 acres could be cut off, or could you do 2 separate for each child?
Well, that's what I was getting is they wanted to limit it to 5 acres. What the example I used was a 50-acre parcel.
Yes, yep.
10% of 50 is 5.
So he couldn't do 5 for one child and 5 for the other child?
No.
Okay.
And, it could be,
There's no restriction on that.
there's no restriction, except that it's limited to 10%. We changed that. That's gone.
Right, okay.
So,
All right, thank you.
yeah. No, I spent a long time this weekend at a sugar house,
Oh, nice.
so I'm hearing it all.
Sugar House Code for Hartland.
Yeah, I wish it was. It was not.
Okay.
We
Any other
are not,
changes?
I'm not hearing anything. Okay. I'm not sure how to tackle, and I spoke to John a little bit about chapter 11.
So I think the best course of action next is to go back now that we've done all the primary chapters and do land use, because chapter 11 is implementation, so it would not make sense to do that one. Next, so let's circle back and at the next meeting do the land use chapter, and then that will largely, just like what will be done with their review of the town plan. So we can work on scheduling the first of the 2 required public hearings.
Okay, are people comfortable with that?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Hey, thank you, Kate. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah,
What chapter number was that?
Chapter 1, the land use chapter.
The one we were supposed to do first.
We're a little out of order. It's all coming together, though.
Yeah, but people are getting a feel for it now.
Exactly. Okay.
okay. Next topic is one that has been haunting us to get started on for 14 months or so, 16 months.
20 years.
I'm just like,
Oh, gosh. I tell the story of going toward Hanover one day to go to work, and there was a grader between Draper and Clay Hill Road, and when I came home, it was paved, and it was actually marvelous for about 3 years or 4 years until it came apart.
That long?
I drive slowly, okay, and I don't take my heavy tractor on that. Okay, so what we have in front of us is a document from John that he and Martin, I believe, kind of put together. And it has 3 options for getting started on the Quechee Road. And what we're referring to is the engineering study that was done 2024 by Pathways, and it was complete with borings and estimates and so on. So tonight, we are not taking any action. Tonight, we are officially beginning a discussion, and I think based on how we are leaning toward one of these options, there's then some legwork that needs to be done to begin to flesh out actual cost and some next steps. Should Pathways come back in and kind of review a few things or not? But I'll turn it over to John at this point. And,
okay. Right. So what you have is, it's just a starting point for the discussion on the Quechee Road. Right. We had this report from Pathways that was done in summer of 2024, which said for the entire road repair was approximately $6.4 million at that time. The road was divided into conditions to green, yellow, orange, and red, which are shown on the maps that were included in your packet. So to start, basically, again, this is the starting discussion on the Quechee Road. I see there's really 3 options. We could, taking the green and the red, again, the RSMS study that Everett did for us last summer.
what does RS?
The Road Surface Management System.
Yeah.
I always forget the last S. One of the key takeaways in the RSMS study is to essentially, like, bad roads are already bad. Don't let your good roads get bad. So, taking with that in mind, trying to do the work necessary to keep the green sections green for as long as we can on the Quechee Road, and also addressing the red sections, right? Because while bad roads are bad, the red sections of the Quechee Road are remarkably bad.
Dangerously bad.
And so those 2 sections combined are, at the time, in 2024, were just under $1.7 million. So
Can you remind, so the whole thing is
6.4.
and there's 4 categories. Can you remind me what the prices were for each of the 4 categories? Do you have that?
I could have that for you, and just if I can go grab the report. But in essence, the red and the yellow and the orange were the most expensive, right? They were each just over $2 million.
The yellow?
The yellow and the orange, right?
Not the red.
Not the red.
Well, the red is severe.
The red is severe. The red is.
I guess it's
At
just
stores.
surprising.
What we don't have,
The documents, I might have it.
there's one more piece of information.
Yeah, sure.
The mileage.
Wait, John.
Of green, mileage of this. So again, trying to keep it at a high level. Option 1 is fixing the green,
Right. So
keeping the green good and tackling the
So
worst.
this whole document that you have before you is keeping the green and fixing the red.
Okay.
There's three options to achieve that, in my opinion. We can bond for the entire amount, which would be, 1.7 or just a hair over if we have to get a new estimate from Pathways for the cost of the work. We have some combination of savings that we could use, which would push the work out a few years if it's saved our allocated paving budget for the next few years. We could save that money, possibly need to take out a short-term loan from a local bank, and then use previous year surpluses and unencumbered fund balances to cover that $1.7 million. Or option 3, which is a combination of using our existing savings and a short-term loan. So in the current budget, we allocate $300,000 per year for paving. We could take the money from this year's paving budget, the FY27 budget, which begins July 1st. Again, none of this work would happen this summer. It would be summer of 2027 work. If we take the $300,000 from FY27's paving budget, we keep that same number in the budget for next year. We take the FY28 paving budget and we use it that summer. So now we're at $600,000. I spoke with V-Trans. Next summer would be, there's no guarantee, but it would be our turn in line for a Class 2 paving grant. The Quechee Road is a Class 2 roadway. Those awards are a maximum of $200,000. So now we're already at $800,000 without having spent any of the unencumbered fund balances or borrowed anything. We also have, you can see on the second page of what was provided in your packet, a number of reserve funds that we have been allocating money to in the town. And if we used specifically $250,000 from the general fund surplus and $250,000 from the highway maintenance. Again, those are surplus money. That's not money. Those aren't reserve funds. Those aren't rainy day funds. Those aren't funds that the voters need approval to spend. Those are simply surplus monies from previous years. We can get to $1.3 million, again, without having an impact on the taxpayer. And if we needed to, we could take out a short-term loan from Mascoma Bank if needed, which you can see the kind of the memo in your packet as well.
What's the difference between general fund surplus and unencumbered fund balance?
The unencumbered fund balance is what was the ARPA money. So there was a report that was put together that in essence said we the town of Hartland don't want to use our ARPA money for paving.
Right.
So we're not touching that unencumbered fund balance.
What's the maximum amount you can get from a bank?
We talked to Mascoma just in conversation about getting a loan for $500,000.
But I mean, will they do $1 million? Or?
Yeah. Yes. Again, we were just kind of using this as a starting point.
And there's a letter in our packet that outlines potential.
The 500.
Right. The 500,000. Okay. Correct.
Yeah.
So we could borrow more if needed. Yeah. The difference that you're seeing in the unencumbered fund balance is I hypothetically pulled a little bit out of there because we would have to hire Pathways or another engineering firm to kind of shepherd us through this project and update their cost estimates. Because again, these are now, a year and a half, almost 2 years old.
Right. And whether Pathways is a project manager, or the project engineer, we would have to find that out.
We would have to, right, there's a lot of steps between, today and implementation.
Yeah.
So when I read through this, what I was hoping we could get from tonight is whether we want a bond at all. And so yes or no. And then the other thing would be is how much would we like to spend? I don't think there's anybody on the board, and I shouldn't be speaking for the board, wants to go to the voters and say we want $6 million.
Not all at once.
You know, and so to me, that seems as though bonding is out of the question. And so,
Well,
I
it's
think
the size of the bond. I mean, you're gonna borrow money or bond
but
money.
if you're not going to borrow a lot of money, you know,
It's the term and the interest rate.
it's the term and the interest rate, and also the bond, you get a lower rate, but you have no flexibility in repayment.
Right.
You're required to repay.
That's an important distinction between going to the bank, there may be a prepay penalty, but with a bond, it's hardball.
And so I have a number of municipal loans, and there's no prepaid penalty.
There's no prepaid, and it's not we don't borrow the whole amount. It's essentially a line of credit that we could use.
Okay.
So
if needed.
So I would love to see us tonight say, just because we have a lot more work to do, because A is probably the way things are going, the costs that we got in 2024 are not going to be the same as we're going to get in 2026. Is to
go as far.
say,
correct.
We would like to spend upwards of a certain amount, and we can borrow from these various funds. That's what I'd like to see us do tonight. And then also make a motion that we bring back pathways, tell them we got $2 million. Here's our thought. What do you think?
Yeah.
And then at some point we get the maps out and we start saying what sections we should or shouldn't do. But right now, to me, it's premature to start talking about sections of the road.
Absolutely.
Because we don't even know how much money we want to spend. And,
right.
And one last thing, if I'm sorry, is I was somewhat embarrassed at town meeting that they kind of chuckled about we just haven't done anything on the Quechee Road. Right. So I think it's time for us to do something and bring it to the voters and just see what they would.
I must admit, I was paralyzed by the thought of a $6.4 million bond. You know, I'd open up my tax statement in July, and it's like, oh man, I couldn't double this. So I like the idea of going for using monies that we have, stretching them, and then doing a bank loan.
One of those two options is going to be the right option, right? But I think you got to look at the actual price tags. I don't think you can just ignore the orange sections. So it'd be nice to see what's the full price tag of the green, yellow, orange, red.
Yeah,
it's broken down by
that class.
Sure.
Option 1, 2, 3, 4.
And Jim, I spent, to your point, I spent some time this afternoon with the maps, and there are small red spots just near the Shepherd's old place on just south of the Grout Road. And then there's a couple of red spots on the north of the Grout Road. And then and there's two small sections just south of Rutherford. But is it economically feasible just to plan those together? But that's not what we're doing tonight.
Right, it's not.
I'd like to start petitioning for.
Maps are hard. I mean, we really need to spread them out on a big table.
Nor do I think it would be prudent for the board to be picking where we are paving, right? We have a consulting engineer who said these are the sections that we would, that are the worst in our opinion, or the orange or the red. Right. I don't know that we want to be in the business of second guessing the work that a professional did for us.
I think we're going with that. But the orange might be red now.
Right. Right. So I guess
that's why we want to bring them back.
Right. To Tom, to your point, there's one point of clarification and then one other statement. So one, we wouldn't, using option 3 as laid out here, right? We wouldn't need to go to the voters for their authorization because none of the funds that we would use require voter approval. Not that we don't want their input, but it does not. We wouldn't need to wait or have a special town meeting.
I'm not saying I just want to use just town funds.
Right.
I don't want to take 10 years to do this either.
Right.
There's no way we can't. We're
either bonding or we're getting borrowing.
Right.
Yeah.
So then,
And it's a risk to use up all the paving money when we do have other sections in town that.
Something else will go wrong.
It is, however, I will point out, I'm comfortable using the paving money for the next 2 fiscal years, given the current status of what we have done in the past 2 years.
Right.
Right. So I agree, there's a concern there, but given the status of most of the other paved sections of roadway in town, I am comfortable with that. However, but to the question is whether or not we can pull a little bit of the unencumbered fund, the former ARPA money, to bring back pathways, to update their cost estimates, and to relook at everything.
I think it's a reasonable thing to work through, right? Somehow we're gonna have to pay for it. We're gonna need them back, we'll figure out where the money comes from.
We need to hear from Trace.
That's what I'm about to do. Martin, hold on.
Two thoughts. I'm not sure that bringing them back and repaying them to do that whole project would sit very well with the community.
No,
So
let's trace, let's define what's meant by the whole project.
Right. What I'm saying is, I mean to say, like, we're not going to pay them to do the whole.
No, we're getting updated costs.
So let's get an estimate as to how much we want to spend or how much they think it's going to be before we spend more money studying something we haven't done anything about yet, because that's going to be the complaint.
Right.
The second thing is the concept of doing this on 3. I'm all for just doing segments, but I think we also have to be clear with the people in our town that this is not going to be the end of fixing the Hartland Quechee Road, spending this 1.x.
Absolutely.
Okay, because they will say, after we're done working on it this next year or the year and 2 years from now, and we're back out working on another section of this road in 3 years, they're going to say, I thought you guys spent all that money fixing the road and it's not been fixed, because they're not going to understand that. So let's just be clear about how we communicate that to the public. That's all.
Yeah, I think, right, I completely agree, and I think there's a lot of benefit to starting to take action, though. If we can start construction in 2027 on any sections of the Quechee Road,
that would be nice.
It would be great. It will be great, right? We're moving the discussion forward.
Yeah, right. Clyde?
Well, I just hope that when we do a section, it gets done right.
Well, that is the goal.
Because if I remember a year or so ago, I mentioned when we did the Brownsville Road and suggested we dig to the bottom and start over, I noticed the pieces that we did do that way are holding up, and the ones we put a coat on, I can churn butter on the way home.
Yes.
Yeah. Trace, I think your 2 points are really valid. What we're asking on the first one is a refresh of the current estimate. I'm not sure what the right term would be there. So not to redo it all.
Not to redo the whole thing, just refresh it.
Excellent.
Please don't charge as much money.
It's kind of like you gave me a bid a year or 2 ago, and I come back and finally have ready to do the job, and you say, Phil,
it's been 2 years, sorry.
On that part. And I worry about the second one, because if we do spend a considerable amount of money to get N miles done, and there's still N minus something miles left, then when are we going to get to that? And that's
you got to ask for money once, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you got to be asking for it.
Martin, you had a.
The only thing I want to say, John and I have had long discussions about this. The loan. The reason I like the loan is because if we have a surplus in the general fund, or even the highway department can get voted on, we can pay the loan down sooner than a bond.
Right.
There's 3 corners, we have 17 more years to pay taxes on that. With the loan, we can, even if we take out a 15-year loan, we can pay it off in 7 years.
What's the max number of years?
I just asked for $800,000 for 10 years. And the interest rates I thought was phenomenal.
Like, during Irene and some of these other natural disasters we had, towns were borrowing $2-3 million for short term.
Okay, so why don't we do not an action, but maybe just a small poll?
Can we do one? Can we just talk about amount? just for yucks.
amount for. Yeah.
So I would like Martin and John to look in what the tax implications would be to spend upwards, say between 500 and 800,000 or up to $2 million for the first phase of the project.
So
Based on the using the
Town money versus.
the town money, and then in addition,
Yeah.
so up to $2 million
Up to
of borrowing.
no, total
No.
project cost phase one.
So the total project cost, less available funds that you pointed out,
Okay.
and then that would be what would be.
Before you get there, I think you need your new estimate. And I think we have to have some agreement on which, in recommendations from Pathways of which sections to do. It's not clear to me that red and green are the right color mix. It might be red and yellow, it might be red and orange. Right?
But what I'm trying to get from the board is, what is the board's appetite for borrowing? And to me, my appetite for borrowing is going to be largely dependent on the impact on the taxpayer.
Yeah, I think you need to see that.
So I need to see that before I can make a judgment. So it was like, let's say, how much would it be to borrow 500,000? How much would it be to borrow 800,000, for instance?
Borrowing, not bonding.
Borrowing. I think we've clear we're not going to
Borrowing
bond.
sounds like a better option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
It's a little higher interest rate.
No, just again, generally speaking, I'm for that.
It's just a math exercise. I mean,
Right,
Martin,
no,
Martin doesn't have anything to do anyway, so I mean, just give him something to do.
Be careful.
Oh, you're backing up dead bugs earlier today.
Okay. John, you were chewing on something there for a bit.
No, this is good. So long as, so takeaway would be, we can spend a little bit of the former ARPA money to bring back Pathways, to do their updated cost estimates, and to review the document, not redo, review, to ensure that what's yellow in 2024 is still yellow today.
They might, yeah.
And that's a visual assessment I think they can do.
Yeah, maybe if they can do that, that's great.
Yeah.
But I think the key part is, what's the most effective batting order?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I think that could be a part two, once we know where the cost is, and then we can begin to absolutely do what you're saying. I'm also hoping that Pathways comes back in the near future when the roads are all frost heaved and we've got signs up and so on and so forth, just to witness what it is in winter, because they were here in the fall or summer.
I think they're keenly aware of the condition of the road, but yes.
Well,
And if you bring up the word phase, which I kind of like, phase one, then how many phases are there going to be? And when are they going to occur? And over what period of time? So that would be something that I'd just like to hear a little bit more about.
okay.
What's the first phase going to be? What's the second phase going to look like? And because people are going to wonder, well, you're doing first phase, then when is the second phase coming to, so that we can figure out where you're going to find the money for that? So, because right now we're doing what we always do and trying to find the money that we have and utilize that. And when we do this, then the money is going to be gone. And if we're going to do phase two, or we're going to have to get another loan, or are we going to have to do something else? And so start thinking that down the road.
So you're getting to something that Jim mentioned, which I wanted to, not to continue the discussion on the Quechee Road. But if we only want to go to the voters once, we want to borrow money once, borrowing up to $2 million, whether short term, and through borrowing up to $2 million and using other savings does not get us anywhere close to the actual full repair. So if we only want to do this one time, we're going to have to borrow significantly more than $2 million.
Right. That's why we need to see the cost estimate for the different colors.
Okay.
Because, maybe it's, orange and red. We can do that with the money we're talking about. And then as those projects take 3 years to get done, you've got $1 million in the bank.
We depending on, so a lot of this is,
get to the yellows.
right. I don't think it's smart to plan on future general fund and highway fund surpluses.
No.
You know, given the last budget cycle,
No, I'm talking, it's gotta be budgeted.
Right.
So it's your
we're gonna have to.
next year's paving budget, the following year's paving
Yeah.
budget, and those budgets might have to go up.
And the money that's going into that budget might have to go up. Okay, I just wanted to understand. Okay.
Okay, are we good to move on?
It didn't hurt as much as I thought.
Well, you only spent, because you only,
writing his resignation.
right. That's because you only spent like $2,500.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, we didn't actually do it. There's a couple of zeros missing out for what you just authorized.
My cracked finger, that was, I thought, had heel started bleeding on the paper here.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to new business. We have a series of appointments and some actions with various documents that John is going to present to us.
Yep.
Last meeting, we talked about the appointment to the Two Rivers Ottauquechee Regional Commission and the representative. John did go to the Planning Commission to say, did anyone want to step up?
Correct.
And so
then there was no one on the Planning Commission wishes to be the formal representative to the Two Rivers Board at this time.
Okay.
So at the last meeting, I have currently been the alternate to the Two Rivers Board when Steve Cohn was the representative. Steve stepped down from the board. My recommendation then, and Tom volunteered to be the alternate, and nobody from the Planning Commission wants to be the representative, so I become the primary rep from the town, and Tom is the alternate.
Okay. And this is a board for Two Rivers that actually sets a direction for Two Rivers?
Yes.
It's the board of directors.
It's the board of directors, right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any discussion? If not, I would love to get a motion to,
I'll make the motion that John Broker Campbell be our representative and Thomas Kennedy the alternate to the Two Rivers.
I will second that.
Clyde and Trace, before we have a vote, are there terms here?
I've been
2 years, I think.
it would have to.
We can check.
Yeah, we can.
We'll just do it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if it's wrong, we'll come back.
Would you amend your motion?
I'll accept the amendment.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you to you two for doing that. Moving on to tree warden. John, why don't you step through tree warden?
Tree warden.
Health.
Yep.
So, great, well, yeah, go ahead.
Great. So the tree warden, Greg Chase, wishes to be reappointed as the tree warden. I spoke to him over the phone. So it's a 1-year appointment. We submit his paperwork to the state of Vermont for annually. So it's a 1-year appointment for Greg to be the tree warden in town.
So can I get a motion to appoint Greg Chase as tree warden for the town of Hartland?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Great. Health officer Alan Beebe has once again agreed to be the health officer for the town of Hartland. Again, a 1-year term.
Okay. Can I get a motion to appoint Alan Beebe as Hartland Town Officer for a period of 1 year?
So moved.
Thank you, Clyde. All in favor, say aye.
Second.
Oh,
You have a motion.
yeah.
I will second.
Wait,
Okay.
okay.
Trey seconds.
Sorry.
Clyde made the motion.
Okay.
Getting near the end of the meeting.
Health officer.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then the next
All
item,
those in favor? Aye.
oh, I thought we voted twice there.
3 times.
Trey
Trace did.
I seconded it. I also said
You got that
We
right.
approved it twice.
We really want Alan to be the health
We
officer.
really do.
We love Alan.
We love Alan. Alan does a great job.
Nominate Tom Kennedy.
And we
for
love
select
Greg.
board.
We already had that vote.
Okay, is there,
The Greater Upper Valley Solid Waste Management District, I am currently the representative to the GUB board. There is no alternate at this time.
Right.
I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor of having John be the, whatever that,
Right,
GB,
rep.
okay. Thank you. One more, animal control officer.
Correct.
Do we vote?
You did not vote on
Oh,
me.
man. All in favor of
Aye.
the motion on the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
He needs to drink water.
Right, okay, last appointment.
I was gonna
Jim
ask for Tyler
Armbruster
on
wishes
that.
to be reappointed to be the animal control officer for the town of Heartland for 1 year.
I move we reappoint Jim Armbruster as animal control officer for 1 year.
Second.
Trace, that was you seconding?
No, Jim.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
There we go.
Okay, now we have in our packets a letter that we are proposing to send out to area businesses to ask for contributions toward the cost of Old Home Days. As folks know, the cost of the fireworks usually creeps up every year, but this year it's doubled, I believe. It's gone to
It's not quite double, but it's up to, so we're up to $20,000
yeah,
annually for the same show that we've been getting.
yeah.
So there was a discussion at a few board meetings ago to send out a letter to business owners in town to solicit donations. This is that letter. Again, there's no expected action. It's more informational. If you have,
This is the one from John Leonard.
correct, because John organizes Old Home Days, so it felt appropriate for the letter to come from John.
Yeah, there's a sentence in the second paragraph that's in bold. If you would like to donate to help offset the cost of fireworks display, we greatly appreciate it. But the sentence before it says it takes many volunteers and thousands of dollars to make this annual event happen. If we're asking for money, why aren't we asking for money for supporting the whole thing?
So, I appreciate John writing this. I think we have two letters here.
Because it's talking about Old Home Day as a whole event and not specifically the fireworks.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Yep.
if I was a business,
It's a little.
I might give you $25.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I think you should put the amount. I think you should state it's gone up almost 50%. And, we really appreciate any kind of donation you could give and just send it out to businesses.
And here's what you're going to get, is pretty clear.
And
Would you get like a sign or?
Well,
I think we could do something, I think.
Yeah. John and I talked about like printing banners, that'll go, at the entranceway to the library and down behind the rec center,
at the gazebo and things like
Right.
that.
So
yeah.
so putting their name up somewhere, absolutely.
And the letter says they can, it doesn't say what, but they can participate in the parade.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to do something.
So it's more like striking the third paragraph
Yeah.
almost.
Okay.
And I'm more than willing to help write it if you want help.
Okay.
But I think just try to make it stronger.
Yeah, we had kind of talked about, do we want to have sponsorship levels and things like that. So I think ultimately
I
we
think
might have
each of
to make
us
it generic.
should be thinking about who businesses in town that may be receptive and pass that along.
There's not a lot of businesses, so
We have a list of
keep it simple.
We have a list of folks who are businesses in town. So, okay, we will revise it, and we'd like to send it out soon, but again, there's no rush.
Yeah, and it's certainly moving in the right direction. I
It
think
is.
I like the
I think
spirit
it's a
of it.
great thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want another picky thing? It says our town was settled in 1761. It was 1763. We were chartered in 1761, up in the logo.
We will see if we can fix that.
But I know
We did not create.
one of the signs, welcome you to Heartland, is
Mr.
wrong.
Smart, it says more than 50 years. How long have we been doing this? Exactly. How many years?
Well,
I know we did it.
found,
I know we did it.
1763, I found the minutes for 1763. I found the minutes to our first.
Well, not an old home day, but town meeting.
Town meeting, yeah.
we did a celebration in '76 for the bicentennial of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
So I know it's been at least that long, if not.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, moving on to item 3 under new business, we have a town road and bridge standards, and then 2 additional highway.
So town road and bridge standards, what you have in your packet is the 2026 town road and bridge standards, an update from the 2019 standards. So these are required to be signed by the board since they've been updated. I did talk with Rita Cito from the Two Rivers Regional Planning Commission to make sure that the information in there was correct, and that's basically, that we are doing these things as they say we are doing.
And I'm sure it even has what, if we redo the Quechee Road, a minimum of the gravel subbase in here. So, okay, so do we need a motion?
Motion, and there's a signature page coming around if the motion passes.
A motion to, I lost page 2 here.
I make a motion that we adopt the 2026 town road and bridge standards.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye. Okay, moment while I sign.
Okay.
Then moving on to the Town Highway Financial Plan, TA60.
TA60, this is an annual form that needs to be done to ensure that we are spending the appropriate amount per mile of road to receive state funding, which we are. So this just needs to be, this is an annual form. We sign it and it gets submitted to the V-Trans district.
Okay. And looking through all the paperwork, I didn't see anything that jumped out at me.
Okay.
And John, as we sign, can you go on to item 5, the
Grants and aid letter.
Yes.
We sure can. So annually we get, we submit for a V-Trans grants and aid grant. We don't know the exact amount until all towns have either raised their hand or declined to raise their hand. Somewhere on the order of $20,000 to $30,000 annually. This is the money that we use to do the ditch work. We did it on Town Farm. I believe this year we're addressing some ditches on Grout, I believe is the plan. So there's just a signature needed by Phil as the duly authorized representative for the town of Hartland.
Well, so maybe I can influence what we do with the Quechee Road. So I need a motion to accept the letter of intent to participate in the state fiscal year 27 municipal roads grant and aid program.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, let me sign this and
Was that Chase or Jim for a second?
That was Jim.
I believe it was Jim.
What's the new one?
That's the TA60 form.
The last one, Phil's.
This one we just voted on?
That's TA60 that you're signing. That's the financial form. Only Phil has to sign the grants and aid form.
okay, let me climb out of all of this paper. Let's go on to the town manager update.
Great. So we have a new dump truck, new 10-wheel dump truck. It arrived last week. It was shiny and new for all of 12 hours, and then we put it to use. But it arrived. They took the old one back on trade. We did lose a little bit on our trade given the work that was needed for it, but it is now out of our hands, so it's good. And we have a full warranty on this new truck, so anything that needs to be done, will be covered under the warranty.
And there's still another one on order.
We expect, actually, there's one on order, and we anticipate having an F600 arrive, again, kind of any day. Just waiting at Viking now for the rest of the plow package to be installed there.
Is anything out of service right now?
As of speaking right now, nothing is out of service.
John, can you give me the breakdown of the trucks that we have for the town?
I can give you a breakdown of the trucks that we have for the town.
So we have categories, like one is a 1-ton, right?
We don't actually have a 1-ton right now.
We do not have a 1-ton.
Not currently.
Are we going to have a 1-ton, or should we have one?
We should have one, and we will have one, but we don't have one right now.
When are we gonna get one?
Which one is it? The GMC is a, yes, but it's not really meant to be doing what it's doing.
It doesn't have a power, it doesn't have a weight. It has a sander and a power.
Right, it has a drop-in sander on it. It doesn't have a dump body on it or anything. The new 600s that we're getting are better outfitted to be doing what a 1-ton should be doing for the town.
And when are we getting those?
So we anticipate one coming any day. We would like to order another one because, again, it takes about 18 months to get one fully outfitted.
So pretend you're the inventory officer and you go down to the town office right now. What do we have?
We have an F-250, which is the buildings and grounds truck.
F-250. Yep.
We have a 2020 Freightliner 10-wheeler.
Freight.
Do you want me to just get?
Why don't you just give him the list? Why don't you just give him the list?
I have this list. Beautiful. I thought this question might come up, so I had it for me. I had it.
There you go.
Would you like this?
I would love one of those.
You can have this one, in fact.
Ken, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You really cut to the chase on that one.
Well, you know.
Well, I want to go home.
I'm starting to know how the brain works.
Oh, that's
I'm trying to
scary.
figure out the old man. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next
If you have
item.
any questions, let me know.
You got it.
All right. So we had to replace the well pump. You saw the invoice and the wiring at the Four Corners building. We also had the septic tank pumps. There was an invoice in there that you signed as well.
So,
Just kind of we-anticipated a kind of upward swing in maintenance needs at Four Corners with the new tenant. Things have been great otherwise, so we'll just continue on that. Green Mountain Power will be here next week, the 24th, to remove the pole and the sub-pole right in front. So if you drive by, we'll have those parking spaces blocked off so they can park the truck and pull those poles. And then the Three Corners intersection project and all the lights will be done.
Right.
Done. So we've had a request to bring legislators back for for a future select board meeting to talk about some of the bills that are being passed at the State House right now. Particular concern around, I've heard from folks in town about Act 250 reform, Act 181, and then obviously the school funding issues that are going on.
so we're going to be specific. We should give them.
Yes.
Be specific.
Be ready to talk about these topics.
Yes.
Yes.
When you say that, do you mean just a public meeting? Or do you
Yes.
mean okay, so not a select board meeting.
Well, so I was thinking not a select. You're saying not a select board
Not a
meeting.
select board meeting. If they're gonna come and just do a public meeting.
To be honest with you, who's going to come?
If nobody comes, then that's fine.
No, I want to respect the time of our
Maybe I don't
elected
understand the
officials.
request. Was it a public request or was it our request?
It was a public request, but again, we have had them at board meetings before. But I can talk to John, Elizabeth, and the senators as well to see what they would prefer.
I do like Tom's idea that we seed whichever meeting format it is, that we seed the questions.
Yep. So, okay, I can follow up on that. We have an asbestos abatement proposal for the North Hartland School, just under $3,000. Again, this is from the company that did the investigation work. Since the voters approved that money, I think that this abatement, we should move forward with the abatement work. It's the sink and the window glazing, and that money, we can pay for it out of the general fund right now, and then when we do the transfer out of the capital reserve funds, for the demolition, we can reimburse ourselves. But that work is moving forward. We'll put out an RFP in the coming months to do the demolition itself.
And I have some models for that.
Okay, great.
Here's a question came to me from a non-town meeting attendee. Is it possible, it's not, he wanted to know if it was possible to have someone buy the building and remove it, rather than us paying to take it down.
I think the article, the way it was written and voted on by the voters, says that we are going to demolish the building.
Yeah.
We tried to sell the building at town meeting last year.
We tried to sell building and land.
Well, okay,
So,
yes.
and so that, I just brought it up.
Yeah. No, it's
And
just
we
about
also
that.
said we're keeping the property.
We are keeping the
in town.
property.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
And then we are working with a neighboring property owner to look at bringing an EV charger into the Three Corners. There's lots of available grant funding out there. It would be located on town property, most likely, but largely being the legwork and would be done by an adjacent property owner, which would be a nice addition to town.
Yeah.
please not be a slow charge, not a 7 kilowatt. It's not worth it.
Now I will let them know that we
worth
don't
it.
want to do a slow charger.
I don't think I grasped that.
All cars go with a slow charger as long as it's not the Tesla?
You can get, yeah, it's not going to be a Tesla.
Okay.
charger.
Who's paying for it?
So it's largely being grant funded.
Okay.
It's largely being grant funded. If there's I looked at the grant, if there's it seemed like it was a 90 to 95% grant. If there's a nominal fee, I don't know, we can have that conversation with the person who is investigating putting it in.
Yeah, Martin?
So, somebody drives in town, charges their car, who pays that electric? So how does that work?
I think each charger,
I have a charge.
you have to
Yeah.
fee, you have to pay for it to use it, whether it's you or I or something.
It's not just on.
There's a-
it's on,
there's a-
not just-
Oh, I thought it was on.
There's like an app for it. No, it's
Yeah, no,
really,
not just on.
there's like 6 of them. It's such a pain.
And where's the thought of placing this?
I think we have to work that out.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. Do you have to dig up the sidewalk we just put down?
No,
But the road,
right. The answer to that is we would do everything in our power to not dig up the sidewalk or place it in a location where that wouldn't have to be the case.
And the trees too, we're gonna dig up the trees.
You don't want to rip open anything.
Right. No, agreed. It'd be nice to have one. There's grant funding out there to do it.
Right.
Let's, pursue it a little bit and we can make those decisions as we need to.
I said to John that we should not rule out the Red Barn, Foster Meadow area.
Yeah.
That seems a logical place, 'cause
And not that, no idea if this is moving forward, but if Sunnymead builds, they were gonna put in a bunch of those chargers.
Well, yeah, but we have no knowledge on what their
Right,
current
but I mean,
plans
if
are.
that happens, you could save yourself some aggravation.
Right.
There'll be a bunch.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just one thing on the capital plan, which we get to under future agenda items. I was in contact with a contractor who has done municipal work before. So we're trying to coordinate the contractor who can do cost estimates for the things that were not included in the architect report that was done in 2023. Bringing those two people together, getting updated costs for the work that was identified, such as the stairs, Damon Hall and the rec center.
Okay.
So again, putting numbers to the capital plan,
Yeah.
and we finally found somebody who can, who has experience doing kind of broad brush infrastructure projects.
Great.
Okay, that's it.
Which leads me to future agenda items, and I feel talking of the Quechee Road and moving money around from here and there, that we really ought to finish the capital plan before we make some final decisions in that area. Local emergency management plan, that's an annual.
This is an annual document that we need to update and adopt and resubmit back to Vermont Emergency Management.
Right. The town highway policy, we were condensing 2 or 3 town policies into one that's still out there. And then likely the next meeting we'll have the third quarter budget update and the Quechee Road. Now that we've, I don't think we'll have the information we're hoping for by next meeting, but we need to stay on top of it. Correspondence. I received a letter from Desiree Norgando, who is a member of the Vermont Center for Eco Studies, and she is the lead scientist that did the garden plot update last year. As folks know, it's kind of right across in Foster Meadow, right across from the community garden. They have letters saying they found an amazing amount of statistics, and they would like to do it for year 2. I think they didn't even say, can we? I think they're saying they're planning on doing year 2. So it's just an informational piece that doing that. The community breakfast, I don't know if it's April or May, has a topic, and this person is going to be presenting on pollinators and all things like that. So that's it. Any other correspondence? Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And I'll second. All in favor, say aye.